Okay. Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much. Students, you are only two here, but I am still going to start the class because we have a lot to do. Now, about your quiz and sit work, because we missed Monday, I am not going to go through it today. I'm going to go through it on Monday when you are still doing your activities. So you need to wait for that for any clarifications which you want to have. So today we are going to go straight and start our the new topic, which is simple interest. So let's see. Good morning, Miss Lantise.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. As I said, I repeat again, we are not going to go through the quiz and sit work today because we missed one day, Monday. That was when I was supposed to do that. Let's first introduce a new topic. The next meeting, while you're still doing your sit work before, I'm going to go through it. And then we can have any consultation on concerns you might have. Okay? So today, as I said, I always introduce a new reflection for the week. And this time it is take 100% responsibility of your life. What does that mean? It means you should not blame anybody for anything bad happening to you. If you are failing, don't blame your teacher. Do not blame pandemic. Don't blame the internet. Don't blame. Take responsibility for everything which is happening to you. Now, for me, students, what I want, just take this one, reflect on it, and use it any way you want in your own life. This is not about school. It's about living. And now I remind you again, students, we are still in the season of pandemic. It's still pandemic. So please remember to be safe. Do not shake hands, hold hands, don't hug, don't kiss. Wash your hands all the time. When you go out, please wash your hands when you come back. Don't forget your mask and your shield. And don't go out if you don't need to go out at all. So these are reminders which I want to tell you every time we have a class. Okay, now we are going to be introduced to business math, but the only topics we are going to be talking about is interest. We'll be talking about three kinds of interest: simple interest, simple discount, and compound interest. So today we are going to be introduced to simple interest and simple discount. So what is interest? When you hear the word, what's interest? This is business. About, like I said, this topic is from business math. Since this math in the modern world is actually not about business math, I brought this topic to introduce us to the terms which are used in math, which is called business math. Okay, so now the first one, which is so important, which we are introduced to, is interest. Interest is the use of money to make money. I repeat, interest is the use of money to make money. So other people, you go into business, like you, when you graduate, maybe you'll put up a store to sell shoes. Others, you're going to be selling books, or you do any kind of business. But people who have a lot of money, they put up businesses where they are going to use their money to make money. Number one organization which does this, or business organization, is the bank. Banks are using money to make money. Whose money is that? Our money. When you put your money in the bank, and they are going to use that money to lend it to other people, and they will be charging them interest. Then they are going to give you a percentage of that interest. But as you know, In the bank, the percentage, you put a savings account, you put there 100,000. By the end of 10 years, how much will you have there? 100,010 pesos, maybe. Because the interest which the bank is going to give you for allowing them to keep your money for you is very small. But for them, they're using it to make more money for the employees, for people who work for them. So that is what interest is about. So you students, if I can give you some advice here, if I were you, your allowance, save 10 pesos maybe every day. You save 10. By the time you graduate, maybe you'll have around 20,000. Keep it, put it somewhere so that it can make money for you. Yeah, that could be. You could keep it somewhere. You keep it 10 pesos, 10 pesos, put it in a jar. By the end of 5 years, maybe you have, a sum of 20. Because I know one of my students who followed this, and she told me, that's what she told me, that at the end, when she graduated, she had 20,000. I don't know if it's true, but that's what she said. And then I told her, okay, put it in the bank or go and buy stocks or something to make money out of that money. So this is a very risky business to be using money to make money. But if you study it very well, it is very lucrative. I don't know, students, if you've heard about here in the Philippines, when I came, I hear the word, is it 69 or 96? I don't know. They say that there are some people you borrow money. If you borrow money from them, they will tell you 10% after 1 month. You give me 10% of the money you borrowed. So for instance, if you borrowed 1,000, you're going to get 10% of 1,000 is, how much is that? If you borrow 10,000, and then you need to get 10% of this 10,000, 10% times 10%, how much will we have? Okay, this will be gone, this will be gone. Okay, 100. So which means when you borrow from your friend, if that is a friend, if you're going to pay back, you're going to give them 1,100. So the interest on this one is 1,100. So this, your friend or whoever, used her money or his money of 1,000 to make a profit of 100. So interest in layman's language, you could refer to it as profit. But we, as we are studying here, interest, everybody remember what is interest? It is making money, the use of money to make money. Like here, I used 1,000 to make 100. Okay, so we have many kinds of interest. Let's first talk about what we call simple interest, and we are going to see what is the difference between them. So before we start talking about it, let's get the formula for computing for simple interest. How do you compute for simple interest? Now, students, everything we are going to be dealing with will be like we are talking about business in the bank, okay? So simple interest, the formula is I representing the interest. I stands for the simple interest is equal to P. P stands for the money you're going to be borrowing, and it's referred to as principal. The principal. So I is interest and P is in the principal. Now, the principal can come in many ways. Either you're going to be the one borrowing, or you are going to be the one lending, or you are going to be investing. So principal can be referred to anything. It could be borrowed money, could be lent money, it could be invested money. That is what we refer to as principal. So that is the money you're going to use to make money. Interest is the money you're going to make, which is the profit you're going to make. In our example, which we gave, the 1,000 at 10%. So here it can tell us very well. and then you're going to make 100. So here, 100 is the interest. The principal, which you borrowed, is 1,000. And R stands for the rate of interest. The rate of interest, which is given in percentage. So when you're using it in this formula, it should be in percentage. In this case, our rate of borrowing or investment or lending is 10%. And T stands for the duration of the investment, duration of the lending, or duration of the borrowing. But T should always be in years, time in years, when you are computing for the interest, time in years. Okay, so we need first to know these things. So let's repeat. We are talking about interest, and what is interest? Interest is the use of money to make money. There are many kinds of interest which we are going to talk about. There is simple interest. We are going to talk about simple discount, and we'll be talking about also compound interest. Now let's begin with simple interest. To be able to compute for the simple interest, the formula is I is equal to PRT, where I stands for the interest, the profit you're going to be making, and P stands for the money you're going to use, because we know that interest is the use of money to make money. So the money you're going to use, which could be you're going to borrow it, or you're going to invest it, or you'll be the one lending it. And R stands for the rate of investment, which is always given in percentage. And T stands for the duration the money is going to be kept. T, when you're computing for the interest, should always be in years. So if you're borrowing it for 10 days, you need to convert the 10 days in years to be able to use it in this formula. So remember, T stands for the time, the duration of investment in years. So time is always in years, standing for the duration of investment or borrowing or lending in years. R stands for the percentage of investment for the percentage of investment, and P stands for the money which is borrowed or money lent or money which is invested. Now, why is it called simple interest? Because we have simple discount and we also have compound interest. It's called simple interest because this is usually money which is borrowed or lent for not more than 3 years. Usually it's short periods of time. So any kind of interest which is the duration is not very long, 1, 2, 3 years, is considered as simple interest. And it is always deducted or added at the end of the investment period. So for instance, if you went and borrowed 1,000 pesos, they are going to give you the 1,000 pesos, but at the end of the time, let's say you are going to borrow it for 1 month, at the end of 1 month, you're going to return 1,100. So simple interest is always added at the end of the investment period. That is very important to remember. Simple interest is always added at the end of the investment period. So when you borrow the money, they will give it to you. You want how much do you want? I want 1,000. They'll give you the 1,000, and then the interest will be added at the end of the investment period. Same thing when you invest. You're not going to get your interest right away. You'll need to wait for the investment period to end. Then when you go to get money, they will give you your interest, and you could, this will be compound. You can round it off again. Compound it again to make more money. So what 2 things we need to remember about simple interest? It is used for short periods, not more than 3 years usually, and the interest is added at the end of the investment period. Okay, so Is there any questions about the theories about simple interest, students? Is there anybody who wants to say something? Okay, so because I want to talk about, okay, so let's go have an example first. Then we will come back and talk about exact and ordinary interest. But I think I'll do it once so that we don't need to be coming back and forth. Now that is our interest. We talked about our simple interest. Now I'm going to introduce another parameter, which is called exact interest. When they say exact interest, it is denoted by a small e on the interest, but the formula is still the same. The principal, and what is principal again, students? Money which is borrowed, invested, or lent. And R stands for the rate of investment in percentage, and T stands for the duration of investment for in years. Now, what does it mean when they say exact interest? In the banking business, 1 year is equivalent to 360 days. But how many days do we know in 1 year? How many days are there in 1 year, students? We have 365. I think we know that. Or we have 366 if the year is a leap year. But in the banking business, they consider 1 year to be 360. But actually, 1 year has 365 or 365 days. Now, when you talk about exact interest, because we are assuming that the duration is computed in years, so usually when they are computing for simple interest, the bank uses that 1 year is equivalent to 360 days. So if you're given a problem, find the interest, and they give you the time in days. To be able to convert it to years, you need to use 360 days. Now, when they talk about exact interest, then you are going to use 365 or 360 days for 1 year. Okay, if they don't tell you it's a leap year, they just said exact interest, then you're going to use 365 days. But if they tell you it's leap year, then of course you're going to use 360 days. Why is this important? Because some of the time they are going to give us the time in days. Sometimes they'll give you the time in years. I mean in months or even weeks. So you need to convert the number of weeks or the number of months into years. So to be able to do that, you need to know the number of days in 1 year. What are they referring to? Now, the most significant thing to remember here, if you are computing for interest and they did not say its exact interest, then you are going to use 360 days as the basis for 1 year. If they say it is exact interest, then you're going to use 365 days or 360 days for 1 year. Now, when you use 360 days, that is what is referred to as the ordinary interest. So most of the time, when we are computing for interest, we are actually computing for ordinary interest. So long as they are not going to say it's exact interest, then you're going to use the ordinary interest. So just interest is equivalent to P times R times T, where T is equivalent to number of years, with 1 year being 360 days. Now, also in the banking industry, it's very important to know that 1 year is equivalent to 52 weeks. 1 year is equivalent to 52 weeks, Of course, 1 year is equivalent to how many months? That is known, of course, 12 months. They're only 12, but it's 52 weeks. Why is this? When you think of 1 year, let's say each month is 4 weeks. But why is it that 1 year is considered 52 weeks when 12 times 4 is equivalent to 48? Why is that? Is there anybody who can answer me that one? Why is it that they consider 1 year as 52 weeks when we consider 1 month to have 4 weeks? And if we have 12 months, it means 1 year is equivalent to 12 times 3 times 4, which will give us 48 weeks. Is there anybody who can reason out why is it that they consider 1 year to have 52 weeks? Anyone? Hello, students? Anyone can give me an answer to that? Why? Because I know 1 month, we know that 1 year has 12 months. But why does it have 2 weeks, 52 weeks, when 12 months in 1 month is 4 weeks? Okay, so we know that not all months are 28 days. Some months are 30 days, others are 31 days. So if you accumulate the excess from 28, because if you consider 4 weeks, then it means that is 28 days. So every month is not 28 days. So if you consider that, what is accumulating is going to bring up the 52 weeks. That is why in banking, 52 weeks is equivalent to 1 year. Now we've been introduced to the formulas which we are going to be using in our computation. I'm going to do until here the maturity value so that we'll just do the one example and we are going to do all of them. So we go back from the beginning. What does I equal to PRT stand for? This stands for the simple interest, which is computed by getting the principal, which will be the money you borrowed, either you invested or you lent, times the rate of investment, and times the time, which is given in years. IE stands for exact simple interest. What is this about? It refers to the time, the duration of time, if we are referring to 365 days, because that is the number of days in 1 year. That is why this is known as the bank interest. Okay, then when you talk about ordinary interest, it means they considered as 1 year equivalent to 360 days. So most of the time, if you're given a problem and they don't mention about exact or ordinary interest, you're going to assume that 1 year is equivalent to 360 days. We compute it based on the ordinary interest. So that exact interest is computed only if it's mentioned that they need you to compute for the exact interest. Okay, is there anyone who wants to ask me any question about these 3 parameters, students?
None po.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so I gave a very simple example where our P is equivalent to 1,000, sorry, and our R is equivalent to 10%. So in this case, our T is equivalent to 1 year. And then we got an interest I of 100. Now, we are going to talk about what we call maturity value. What is maturity value? This is the amount of money you're going to receive at the end of the investment period for the simple interest. Okay, the amount of money which you're going to get at the end of the investment period is known as the maturity value, and it's denoted by M. So what is M? How do we compute for M? M is going to be your principal plus the interest. So it's going to be the principal plus the money you invested, the money you borrowed, the money you lent, plus the profit you made, which is the interest. So the maturity, it's like my money matured, I added my interest. So when you add the interest to the principal, this is the what we are going to get. It's called the maturity value. Now, if you manipulate this formula, we could manipulate this formula. So what I'm going to do, let me remove the exact and ordinary interest here so that we can use this place. We could also use this. So we remain with our simple interest. Okay, now we know the maturity value, the money accumulated at the end of the investment period is equal to the principal plus the interest. So in this case, 1,000 plus 100. By the way, don't write like that. Remember always so that people will not think that's one. This is interest. Okay, so this formula could be manipulated to become like this because we have other formulas. How did it become like this? We know that we have M is equal to P, the principal, but we know that I is equal to P R T. So that is why, because sometimes you're given values where you cannot use only this one. You need to use this formula to be able to come up with this. So it's better to know all of them. So this will be equal to, we factorize P, will come out, then we'll have 1 plus RT. So you don't need to memorize this, just know this is first formula we need, second important formulas for our simple interest. So what is maturity value again? It is the money which is accumulated at the end of the investment period. So starting from now, students, let's just use investment because if we are going to be including the lending, the borrowing, we might become confused. But you have to understand that the principal could be money lent, money invested, money borrowed. But in our case here, let's just talk about money invested, okay? So that will not be so confused. So now, since we know everything about our simple interest, because from here we'll be going to simple discount, let's go and have some simple examples of our interest. So we go down, 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 down. So everything here, students, is what I've been talking about. You have it in your handout, so you can read. That is why I give you time to read, read, so that you'll be able to do the problems well, and you'll be able to get the theories of this topic. Okay, now let's have some examples. Now, all my problem solving are going to be coming in words. There will be worded problems, and it's up to you to remove what you need to compute for the simple interest or exact interest or the maturity value. Now, this is my strategy. I read the problem, and then I'm going to start identifying first the formula I'm going to use to answer the question, and then I'm going to identify the given. So we read number 1, a man borrowed 25,000 pesos for 2.5 years. If you want, you could put here a man invested, a man lent. Okay, you could put any word there, so long as you know this means money invested, money. Okay, so a man borrowed 25,000 pesos for 2.5 years at an interest rate of 8 per year. So remember, R stands for rate of investment per annum. Per annum meaning per year. Find the amount of simple interest. So what is it they want you to find, students? Number 1, find the formula. Identify. What do they want me to find? Interest. What is the formula for interest? I is equal to PRT. So next, this is unknown because this is what I'm going to be looking for. Now, have I been given P? Identify in your problem. What is P? Was I given P? Remember, P is money borrowed, invested, lent. They said he borrowed. Therefore, P is 25K. 25K. You understand what's 25K? Okay. So next, have I been given R? What is R? I ask myself. R is the rate of investment and it should be in percentage. So you should understand I is money, P is money, R is rate of investment in percentage, T is time in years. Okay, have I been given R? Yes, I've been given R as 8%. Now, if you have your calculator and you know how to use it, you could just punch in 8%. But if you don't know, you want to use the keys to punch, then you're going to convert this one to decimal to be able to compute. But you should always give your rate of investment in percentage, not decimal. We convert it to decimal for computation's sake. If you don't know how to use your calculator to punch the 8%. So this will be 0.8, am I correct? 0.8 or 0.8. Okay, then 0.8 or 0.08. Let's see, move 1 to 0.08. Well, how do you get that? Just move to a decimal point from here, 1, 0, second 0, 0.08. So you convert it to decimal for computation's sake, but you don't need to do this if you can use your calculator to compute, to punch in 8%. Next, have we been given time? 2 years and 1/4. 2 years and 1/4. So the time is already given in years, so we don't need to do anything. Now, this is also the same, students. If you're given 2 and 1/4 years, you don't know how to, what's this? You don't know how to punch it in your calculator. What are you going to do? Change it to decimal or change it to an improper fraction. Always remember this is years. So me, what I do, I change it to improper fraction. Even this one, I make it as a fraction. I'll just make it 8 divided by 100. It will be simpler for me than making it decimal. Then this will be 4 times 8 is 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So it's 1/4 years. I just change it for computation's sake. Then I'm going to fill in my thing. So it will be my I is equal to 25. But if you have calculator, this is very easy to do. If you know how to use your, I know you have very nice calculators. I don't have a calculator. I use the one on the computer. Times 8/100. You see how easy it will be if you use fractions. Times 9/4. So we don't even need calculator, students. What am I going to do? 100 divided by 25 is 4. 4 divided by this one is 2. 2 divided with this one is 2. And this will be equal to, by the way, don't forget this is K. So we still have the K, the 1000. Don't forget, you see, I was going to forget. So this will be 4K already. 4K divided by 2. Where am I? 9, sorry. I'm here, students. You see, confusingly. I just don't want to use calculator. If you want to use calculator. So this is 9K. Remember, this was K. So 9 here, 9K. It's 1000 we still have here. 9K over 2. So what will this give us? 4.5K. This is 4,500 pesos. See? Remember, it's pesos. So what do we do? Don't forget cents. This is your I. Now, I am going to ask a question. What is 4,500 pesos? Can you tell me in layman's term, what does that mean? In our problem here, what does 4,500 pesos mean? Anyone wants to answer that nice question? What does it mean? From everything we've been talking about, what does it mean? Nobody? Remember, what is interest again? Interest is the use of money to make money. So 4,500 is the money which was made when they used 25,000 pesos for 2 years, to 2 and 1/4 years. They made 4,500 pesos. That is what it means. You just need to translate the definition of I. Because this is math in the modern world, I might be asking you questions like that in the exam. It will be you're going to be computing for this, but actually this is not the last answer. The answer I will be asking for is, what is 4,500? And then you put their interest. No, you need to tell me what it is in layman's language. So which means you understand what you're doing. Okay, so this is how you compute. You can see, students, we took a long time because first, I'm not using calculator. Second, I need to go step by step to show you what you have to do when you read a problem. So we are going to do this one. This, you will be doing it yourselves. This one and this. There is this one, student. You look, what is the duration of our time? Okay, let's look at this. I'm going to erase this one. So you look at this one. How much is the simple interest on 17,600 for 7 months at 7%? So they are asking for I, same thing. So I is equal to PRT. So are we given the P? What is our P? The principal is 17,600, 600 pesos. What is the rate? The rate is 7.5%. Now, what is the time? The time is 7 months. But the problem is we need to convert it to years. So it's given in months. And this will be equivalent to how many years? What are we going to do to convert our months into years? Can somebody tell me? What are we going to do? Anyone? Hi, students. How many months in 1 year? So we know that 1 year is equivalent to 12 months. Therefore, we are going to divide this by 12 months. So 7 months is equivalent to 7 over 12 years. So your time is going to be this one, 7 over 12 months. I will give you just a suggestion, students. Avoid converting to decimal. When you're going to compute, use it as is so that you don't miss out any decimal, anything. Don't miss out anything. And always your final answer should be in hundreds because this is money. So everything you give should be in the hundreds. The decimal point should be hundreds, to the hundreds, not thousands. Don't make 3 decimal places, 2 decimal places. Please avoid, for instance, this one, then you change it to 0.0 like that. Leave it 7/12 because you can even understand, oh, this was months, they divided it by months. Now, what if this was, I give an example. What if this was, the time was given in days? What if they said 7 days, which is impossible, of course, this is exaggeration, 7 days. Okay, let me say 30 days because it's too much. Let's say the time is given as, T was given as 30 days, and they are asking you to compute for the interest. They did not say anything else. What are you going to do? How will you convert 30 days to years? What did we say? 1 year, if they don't say anything, is equivalent to how many days? 360 days. Because they did not say it's ordinary, or they did not say it is exact interest. Therefore, 1 year is equivalent to 360 days. So students, you need to remember when you are writing your given, always remember to put the days. Because if you're going to write just 30 is equivalent to 30 what? So 30 days is equivalent to 30 divided by 360 days. So yes, sorry, yes. Because we are converting it to years to be able to use it in our formula. But remember, if you did not put days here, this is wrong, because 30 is not equivalent to 30 over 360 years. It is 30 days is equal to 30 divided by 360. So if you want, you can simplify this, but leave it as a fraction. So if you simplify, what will it become? It will be 1/12 years. And then you can use it in your equation here. So PRT will be 17.6 times this times 1/12. But don't change it to decimal, because it might confuse, or it might, you lose some money, because the decimal is repeating. Okay? Don't forget, equals, this is days, not just 30. 30 days equals 30 over 360 years, not just 30 over 360. You put the years there, because it will not be equivalent if you're saying 30 days equals 360 over 30 over 360. That will not be correct. Okay? I want you to do by yourselves, because these are very simple things. So I want us, students, may I ask you please to do this number now, and then you're going to give me your answers in the chat box. Do this one. You find the exact interest, then you're going to compute for the ordinary interest. So given this is the given. Okay, so before you do that, I'm going to do this number 1 to compute for the maturity value, because we computed it together. So the first number we computed, we got I is given as 4,000 peso, 4,500. That is what we computed as our interest. And the principal was given as, so P is equal to 2,000 pesos. Okay, if I am asked what is the maturity value, I am just going to add the principal M. So it will be my first thing, M is equal to P plus I. So I will just add this to 25K plus 4.5K, and I'm going to come up with 25,000, 29,000, 29,500 pesos. Okay, don't forget, it's always money. Don't forget to put the point. So this will be my maturity value for this one. Okay, so now to know if you understood here, please compute for the exact interest, for the ordinary interest, and I'm going to add here for the maturity value for A only, for the exact interest, maturity value. So I don't need to see your solutions. I just need to see if you have an answer, because I'm also going to be doing it. Okay, can you do that, students? Please compute using 37,000 was borrowed at 8.5% simple interest for 120 days. Compute for the exact interest, then compute for the ordinary interest, and compute for the maturity, this is C, the maturity value for the ordinary interest, okay, for when it's ordinary interest only. Okay, so please go do that. I give you 3 minutes is good, I think. Okay, everybody try. If we can't, of course, we are going to do it together. Everybody try. Oops, sorry. Can we see the problem very well? I made it big. Okay, may I check? Oh, students, how come nobody's doing? Hello? We haven't finished? Nobody yet has put anything, any answer. Mr. Trier, John, okay, let's see. Very good, Miss. Okay, let's see. Joanne. Oh, I'm lost. Let's see what we have. Mom, not sure for exact interest. Okay, I'm going to check. I'll check that, Joanne. Exact interest. Okay, so you do the next one. Do the, what's this? The ordinary interest. I'm going to check because I don't have the, I haven't done it yet. Joanne, no, no. Okay, do I have any other answers? Let's see. You try the simple, what is this? Ordinary. No. I think you did not convert the years. Remember, it's 120 days, not years. 120 days. Anyone else? Why always you? Mr. Trier, do you have something? Mr. Fuentes? Mr. Trier, you have something?
I don't have, Mom.
Why? You try. You know the formula. Huh?
I don't know what to do if I have 8.5%, Mom, in the rate.
You don't know what to do if you have 8.5% rate?
Yes, Mom.
Okay. Maybe that is where everybody has a problem. Okay. So everybody, okay, let's do together. It's good. You should have told me. You should have said something. Okay, let's do it together. Where is my board? When you have, okay, so you mean if I can show you how to convert that one. Okay, can you see my my thing? Can you see? Miss Annan, can you see my green slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's do together, everybody. An amount of 37,000. By the way, that is very wrong. It's 5,000. What is that? I am sorry. That is supposed to be 37,500, not how many millions. Maybe that is why, Johan, you got very big. Sorry. Okay, so that is, it's a type error. So that is 37,500, not 5,000. 500 pesos. Okay, so was borrowed at 8.5 simple interest for 120 days. So A, we are going to compute for the IE. What is IE? IE is the same. It's equal to P times R times T. So what is our P? This is our P. Everybody agrees? Our P is 37,500. What is our R? Our R is 8.5%. Okay, so if you don't know, like me, I don't like using those scientific calculators. Then you have the backsets, put the half there. I do it manually like this. 8.5. I'm going to convert this to an improper fraction. So everybody listen, I will do 2 times, 1/2 is 0.5, right? Everybody knows it's 0.5. So this will be 8 8.5%, right? If you want, this will be 8.5 divided by 100 to be able to use it in the calculator. So what you do in your calculator, just punch 8.5 divided by 100 times R times P. Finished. If you don't want to do that, you could move the fraction to make it 85. So you need to add a 0 here. It's going to become 85 over, sorry, the way I'm writing, not good. But this is good enough. So whichever you prefer, it could be 85. You remember converting from decimal to fraction and everything. So we remove the decimal, put it here. Therefore, we need to add a 0 here. So this will become 85 over 1000. But why are you going there when you can just easily use this one? Can use this one. Or if you don't want to convert this one to fraction, you could also do it like this. It could be 2 times 8, 16. 16 plus 1, it will be 17 over 2%. If you want, you could divide this by 2. It will become still 8.5. If you don't want that, 17 over 2 divided by 100. This is the same as 17 over 2 over 100. And this is going to become, bring the 2 down, it will be 17 over 200. But this is a long way. Why you make yourself long way? Just convert this to decimal. In your calculator, 1 divided by 2, 0.5. Add it here, whole numbers, 8.5%. Finished. Which one of these you'd prefer? It will still be correct. Do you understand? So the best thing is, if you have any fractions here, change it to fraction all. Change it to fraction so that you'll be able to use it in the this one. Okay, so may I have an answer now? I've done this for you, so give me an answer. Joanne, can you give an answer now? What is our T? T is 120 days. I'm not going to do this for you. What are you going to do? T is 120 days. So please, can you compute and give me an answer? What is the exact interest? Everybody, give me an answer. Exact interest, what is it? I computed it already. I have it. Remember, it's money. Interest is money. P is money. R is rate in percentage. T is time in years. So we are computing for exact interest. So what is your exact interest? Did you do something? I'm going to remove this. I look. No, not yet. Okay, now, Mr. Michael John Trier, please compute. What do you have? Mr. Soko, what is your answer? Joanne, can you make another one now? Because this is wrong. Hello, Miss Turo. Hi. You can type something here. Miss Turo, do you have something, please? Type something. Miss Vrilon. Please type something. You're on 0.6. No. Okay, everybody's sending up. I'm still waiting. I think we might have. Yes?
Type po. 1062.5 po. Yun.
Okay, type another one. I think you might all be correct. Okay, so let's see. Let's all go back. So it could be 1062.50. But remember, students, don't give me answers like this. It should be money. Peso 1000.50, not 0.5. This is money. If you give me like this, you're going to lose 2 points. You lose. So it should always be Okay, let's try to do this together. So we have our number of days is 120 over 365. Am I correct? Because we are 365. So this is going to be, let's put it in a formula now. We remove this one. So we have 37. I'm going to make it 37.5K times 8.5 over 100 times 120 over 365. Why did we use 365, students? Because it is exact interest. Okay, so I get my calculator. Standard. So what we have, 37500 times, no, so I'm going to remove this already. So I have, I need to do it again. So I have 375, because 5, I removed those, that 2, then times 8.5 times 120. Oh, am I correct? Yeah, 20 divided by 365. Oh, I think you used wrong, because this was my answer, but when I saw most of you have 62, I became confused. This is the correct answer. Where did you go wrong? Did you use this one, 120 divided by 365, students? The correct answer is 1,000. This is equal to 1,047.95 cents. This is the right answer. Can you find out where you went wrong? Where did you go wrong? Was it here or the 120 divided by, did you make divided by 360?
Yes po.
Yeah, that's why. That's why, because that's the answer for B. So let's change it. We just use the thing, you will see. That is the answer for D. So I'm going to multiply this times 365 divided by 360. You see? So you made a mistake. We are computing for exact interest. So the number of days should be 365. They did not say it's leap year, so it should be 365. So this is the answer for B, ordinary interest, and this is the answer for A. So can you compute for the maturity value for B? Maturity value for B, what's your answer? I want to see before I compute for mine. Maturity value for B. I want to see your answers. Maturity value for B. The maturity value. Mr. Soko, what is your answer? Put an answer here. Maturity value for B, students. Anyone? The maturity value. You remember what is our maturity value again? Principal plus the interest. So what will be the answer? The maturity value. Okay. So we added, yes, Miss Manzalan. Okay, we have Miss Manzalan. Let's, oops, sorry. So let's do it together. So we are looking for maturity value for B. So since we know our B is, the I is equivalent to, so let's put the IO. So our maturity value is, for O is equal to peso 1,000 62.50. So if we have, so M is equal to P plus I. Therefore, 37,500 plus, this is 0.00, plus 1,062.50. So this will give us plus 37,502. 30. You're right. 38,562.50. This is our M, maturity value. So what is this one? What is 38,562? This is the money which is accumulated at the end of how many days? 120 days. The money which was accumulated at the end of 120 days is 38,562. Okay, now students, you practice these ones. Practice again and ask, manipulate, ask yourself, manipulate and do it and understand it. Let's introduce ourselves to simple discount. We are going to be introduced to simple discount. Let's go back to the beginning. Oops. Okay, our simple discount. Now, simple discount, what is this? Simple discount. So now we know what is, we know what is, interest, students. Interest is the use of money to make money. And what is simple interest? Simple interest is the interest which is earned for just a short period, and it is always added at the end of the investment period. What is exact interest? Exact interest is computed on the basis of 365 days or 366 days per year in 1 year. And ordinary interest is computed on the basis of 1 year equaling 360 days. And what is maturity value? This is the amount of money which is accumulated at the end of an investment period, which is equal to, of course, maturity value, principal plus the interest. Now, what about simple discount? Simple discount is actually like simple interest, but the difference is the interest is deducted at the beginning of the period. It's deducted at the beginning. So in the simple example, and to differentiate it from simple discount, from simple interest, simple discount is given as B, known as the bank interest, times the maturity value times the discount rate, they call it, because it's deducted at the beginning, times time, which is also given in years. So this is like the maturity value times the discount rate. In the case of I, remember this is P, and this is R, and this is still T. And this is still the same. So let's analyze simple discount. Whereas for the simple interest, the interest is added at the end of the investment period. For simple discount, the interest is deducted at the beginning. So if you're going to the bank, you want to borrow 1,000 pesos for 1 year. So this is the amount you want to borrow. You borrow it for 1 year, and at a rate of 10%. The rate is, let me write it well so that, okay. So given an example, we want to differentiate simple interest from simple discount. When you go to the bank, you want to borrow amount of 1,000. So your principal will be like 1,000. You want to borrow this? And the rate of interest is going to be 10%. And the duration of investment is going to be 1 year. If this is going to be simple interest, they are going to give you how much? You are going to go home with 1,000 pesos, and at the end of the year, you're going to pay 1,100 pesos, because the interest is going to be, I is going to be equal to 100. So the maturity value is going to be 1,100. So if this was simple interest, you're going to borrow 1,000 at a rate of 10% for 1 year. They will compute the interest to be 100, and you're going to pay it at the end of 1 year as maturity value at 1,100. But if this was a simple discount transaction, when you borrow 1,000 pesos, they are going to compute already the interest and deduct it at the beginning of the investment period. So what will be the money which you're going to go home with? Only 900. So let's look at it. So for simple discount, the interest is deducted at the beginning of the investment period. So in this case, the 1,000 is considered as a maturity value because at the end of the investment period, that is the money which you're going to be paying back. So let's say you're going to be borrowing 1,000 pesos. For you not to be confused, you could compute for the interest on this money using the simple interest rate, then you deduct it, and then what remains will be the money you're going to go with. But instead of doing that, we are given the simple discount formula. So let's compute for the bank discount. In this case, it's no longer considered as interest. It's called the bank discount. What will the bank discount be? It will be the amount of money you're going to be borrowing, which is 1,000. You're going to be borrowing it at a rate of 10%. So times 10%. And you're going to borrow it for 1 year. So the rate of borrowing will be 1 year. As you can see, it's going to give you the same thing as if you use the interest formula. So this is going to give us a bank discount of 100. So the amount of money you're going to take home, so my question here is going to be 1,000. You're going to go with will be 1,000 minus 100, which will be 900. Now, this 900 is known as what we call the proceeds. Proceeds, which is depicted as PR. So proceeds is equal to 900. Now, when they ask you to compute, the example will be, please find the amount of proceeds which will be gained on if somebody borrowed or invested 1,000 pesos. What will be the amount of proceeds? So what you're going to do is compute for the bank discount, then deduct the amount of bank discount from the maturity or from the invested money, and what is going to be remaining is known as the proceeds. So the bank discount is, the simple discount is different from the simple interest in that the amount of interest is deducted at the beginning of the investment period. So this is considered as a maturity value because at the end of the investment period, the amount which is going to be paid back is going to be 1,000. That is why it's considered as the maturity value. So it's quite confusing if you're going to be using the interest, the simple interest formula when you're computing for simple discount. So students, the moment they say simple discount, please apply this formula and consider your principal or your investment or your borrowed money as the maturity value, because that is the money you're going to be paying back at the end of the investment period. So when they ask you about the effective rate, this is another parameter which I want to introduce to you. The effective rate is applied on the simple discount only, because this is the rate which is computed on the actual amount of money which is borrowed or which is lent or which is invested. So how do you compute for the effective rate? You're going to use this formula. This is the discount rate. So to be able to compute for the effective rate, you're going to convert this as your rate, but it is the effective rate, which will be equal to the proceeds times the time, which was the duration of investment. So in this case, we are going to use 1 year here, and you're going to use 900 as the, what am I saying? Sorry. Forgive me, students. I am getting ahead of myself. It is equal to the bank discount, because we move it this side, B divided by T. So we had our money borrowed or invested was 1,000. So this was our M. Our PR, which we got from this one because we had a discount of 100, is 900. And the time is still 1 year. So if we are going to be computing for the discount rate, in this case, it's looking for the rate of investment. It's going to be the bank discount divided by the proceeds which you got from your simple discount times the time of investment. So in this case, we have, what was the bank discount? 100 divided by what was our proceeds? 900 times 1. This will be here. So this will be 1/9. But remember, this is in percentage. So you need to change it to percentage. So 1/9, if we are going to get, it will be 0.111, so which would be around 11%. So which means the effective rate, as it's defined, it is the rate which is applied on the actual amount of money which is received by the borrower or the lender or the bank. It is the actual amount of rate which is applied on the proceeds. It is different from the ordinary rate. The effective rate is computed using the proceeds, not the actual amount of money which is lent or borrowed. It is computed using the actual amount of money which is received by the borrower. So it only applies when we are using simple discount. It doesn't apply when you are using simple interest. So let's have one example of simple discount. Go back to our students. These all these problems are in your handout. I think I remember I put it there so you can practice when you leave here. Okay, so for simple discount, we have Okay, we have Mr. Lopez borrowed a certain amount of money from a lender and was charged 3,000 pesos simple discount. 3,000 pesos simple discount. If the discount rate is 10% for a 9-month period, what was the amount of his loan? Okay, so the thing here is to determine what are they asking you? What is it they're asking us? So the moment you see the word simple discount, don't look at anything else. Just go straight to your formula that simple discount is the bank discount is equal to M times the discount rate times the time. This is the first thing you'll do. The moment you read, they said simple interest, go straight to the simple interest formula. If they say they are looking for simple discount, go straight to the simple discount formula, because if you use the other one, though sometimes you'll get the correct answer, there are other times when you're going to be getting a very different, slightly different. Okay, the fact that they are talking simple discount, so it means we are going to be using this formula. After getting the formula, we are going to start identifying what is the given. What is it they're asking us? What was the amount of his loan? So what we are looking for is M. We are looking for the amount of money this person borrowed. So we are looking for M, this M. How do we find M? M is equal to B divided by D over T. So where are we going to go wrong, students, if we cannot understand what this means? What was the amount of his loan? This is money borrowed, money lent, money invested. So it is this one in our formula. Remember, when it is termed as M, as maturity, because at the end of the investment period, if it is a simple discount, this is the amount, exact amount of money you're going to pay back. Okay. So now we know how to manipulate this formula. M is equal to, I just transpose this side, B divided by DT. What is B? B is the bank discount. Have we been given the discount? Yes, because it says he borrowed a certain amount of money and was charged. Remember, what is interest? Interest is the cost for using the money, because it's the profit you get for using. Somebody will get profit for using their money. So if they say he was charged, so this is our discount, or it is our interest. Therefore, B is equal to 3,000. It is like what you are charged for using this money. Interest is also charged for using that money. Okay, so do we have D? Yes, the discount rate is given as 10%. Do we have T? Yes, T is given as 9 months. But remember, in our formula, we cannot use 9 months. We are going to use years. So what is 9 months in 1 year? We have as 9 out of 12. 12 months in 1 year. 9 out of 12, because there are 12 months in 1 year. So to convert the 9 months into years, you divide the months by the number of months in 1 year. If these were days, we are going to divide the days by the number of days in 1 year. If these were weeks, we are going to divide the weeks by the number of weeks in 1 year. And how many weeks in 1 year, students? 52, not 48, 52. So since we have everything, we just need to substitute and find out how much money our Mr. Lopez borrowed. So may I have an answer, students? Can you compute this for me? 3,000 divided by 10%, which is the same as 10 over 100 times 9 over 12. So if I were you, how are you going to do this? How will you do this? Let me see, students, if you're going to get the same answer like I do. How would you do this to be able to solve it quickly? Just input your answers. If you have an answer, please input your answers so that I can see if you are able to do it using your calculator. Using your calculator. Anyone has an answer? Because you know, when you do it yourself, you will be able to, it will be easy for you to. Anyone has an answer for us typed somewhere? Okay, so what do you do here? You could convert this to decimal so that it's small. It will be easy. You can see, cancel that, cancel that. You remain with 0.0.1. Do we have an answer, students? Okay.
On the chat box, ma'am.
In the chat box we have, okay, I've been waiting. Oh, sorry, asking. Okay, Mr. Pastorel. So what are we computing for? I forget, wait. We are looking for, maturity value, okay. Oh, very good. Very good, Mr. Tria, Mr. Pastorero, very good. Other people, please, can you try to compute? I want to see if you know how to use your calculators. Very good, sir. That is exactly the amount. Very good. Anybody else? Students, everybody should be. So this is not a matter of not knowing math or anything. It's a matter of knowing how to manipulate your calculator. So for me, because I don't use calculator, what I would do, first you've seen, I'm going to make this cancel and cancel. So I'm remaining with 3,000 divided by 9 times 1, 9, 12 times 10, 120. And then I'm going to make reciprocal. So I'll have 120 it will be 20 times 3,000. It will be easier, divided by 9. If you see, so this will give you 4,000 because it's 36,000. It will give you 40,000, 40K. Without, I think I canceled this 36 with this 9. We'll cancel out 36. You remain with 4. 3 times 12 is 36 divided by 9 is 4, 40,000. Finish without using calculator. Okay, so I want to, this one, I think, sorry, I was not showing you. You were not looking at what I'm doing, I'm sorry. Okay, so what I did, students, was this, let's see. This is what I did. I went 3,000 over 10, 1 over 10, 9 over 12. So I multiply 9 times 1, 9. 10 times 12 is 120. Then I made reciprocal. 120 came upstairs. It became 120 times 3,000. So I know that 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 3 is 36. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So I have 40 under 3 zeros. It will give me 40K, 40,000, 40K without using calculator. And I'll get it. Okay, so I want to go up before it's already time, students. last going through. Oops. Okay, so I need you to read the notes. Read your notes, please. Read the notes until, because your seat work and quizzes are going to be until that simple discount. We are going to go until simple discount. So you need to read your notes, okay? So read about promissory notes and read about the effective rate. Of course, these are just theory. Now, the things we've talked about today, I want you to remember it very well. What is interest? What is simple interest? The formula for simple interest, exact interest, when is it used? Ordinary interest, when is it used? What is maturity value? And then simple discount, the difference between simple discount and simple interest. And then when is effective rate applied? Where is it applied? Effective rate, because the rate we are using is for simple interest here. And when is effective rate used? You need to read about that, okay? So I'm going to release your quiz and seat work tomorrow. I don't know, tomorrow, but don't worry, you have a lot of time to be able to do it. So what I want you to do is to read your handouts and until simple discount. Please read your handouts, okay? Please read your handouts, students. Okay. Is there anything you want to say to me? We are already 2 minutes above time. Anyone wants to say something? If you have any questions, you can come back to me. Yes, okay. What is Mr. Castorio? Okay, any questions? I don't see, I saw a question, but I thought Mr. Pastorello asked something. Anyway, okay, if you have any questions, anything you need to ask me, you can ask me. So next meeting, when you come, we are going to go through quiz 1 and seat work 1. That is the time your concerns will be addressed. It was supposed to be today, supposed to be on Monday, but we didn't have classes. So today is lecture time. Do you understand? Concerns will be addressed next meeting. Okay, so let us pray. Lord, thank you for giving us the opportunity to learn and the capacity to understand. Let our knowledge be of service, not only for the attainment of our goals, but also for the benefit of others. Amen. Okay, so students, sayonara. Anyone who is having difficulty, I am here, especially I have time from later on. I will not be here from 10 to like 1, but after that I'll be here. You can send me a message now, and then we'll make an appointment if you want to talk to me. Okay, so goodbye, sayonara.
Goodbye po, ma'am. Thank
Bye,
you.
ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
God bless po.
God bless you too. God bless you too. I guess.